Welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be, and this post game recap of a thrilling, fun game on this Friday evening as the Kings lose 101 to 100 to the Los Angeles Clippers. And this was a fun game um, to, uh, from beginning and towards the end, especially in that second half. You had the Kings who battled a really good Los Angeles Clippers team all the way down the wire, and like this game was somewhat similar to that last game between these two teams down in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome, where the Clippers won on that game-winning shot in the last meeting by Leonard. But in this game, the Kings come up short once again, and they are now 39 and 42 on the season with an absolute must-win on Sunday afternoon if they want to host that play-in game next week. I believe it's Wednesday against the Dallas Mavericks, because if the Kings win, they will be the ninth seed. If Dallas wins, the Kings will be the ninth seed. But if the Kings lose on Sunday and Dallas wins, the Kings will be the 10th seed and will be going to Dallas for that play-in. So that's why Sunday is a must-win game against the Phoenix Suns. So just going back to this game, in this game, at the end of the first, you got Keegan Murray, who drilled a triple that gave the Kings the lead at the end of the first quarter, 29-24, and that gave Keegan 7 points to lead the way for Sacramento. After that first quarter, you had 6 points from Zach LaVine, 5 points from DeRozan, and also in that first quarter, the Kings finished with 10 assists on 12 made buckets. So I thought solid job there in the first quarter. But in that second quarter, it was mostly the Kawhi Leonard show in that first half, as he hit a late three right before the end of the first half that gave the Clippers a 1-point lead going into halftime. And then you had Sabonis, who led the team with 10 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double at the end of the first half. Lyles had 9 points off the Kings bench. Another solid job from Lyles in this game for Sacramento. And then you had Zach LaVine with 7 points as well. It was muchly a slow night for your two stars in this game, but and there was a few questionable calls and no calls in this game, especially in that first, and especially on the rookie Devin Carter, who I thought off the bench tonight. Devin, I thought defensively was really good defensively, and I thought because he was a rookie, I thought he wasn't getting the whistle because there was a play in that fourth quarter. Well, you got James Harden, you got Devin Carter guarding James Harden, and you got James Harden with his arm up to Devin's neck area, no call. Doug Christie got a technical foul, and I like that, sticking up for his guys. But with both Zach and DeMar DeRozan struggling early in this game, it's hard for this Kings team to win games when you have both of those guys struggling in this game. But thankfully, they came alive late in that fourth quarter. But going into that fourth, the Kings trailed the Clippers by 5 at 75-70. You had Sabonis, who was pacing the Kings, with 16 points, 12 rebounds. Levine had 13 points after the third quarter, 13 from Keegan Murray as well. And then both JV and Trey Lyles, who are both solid off the bench tonight, had 9 points after that third quarter. But it was that fourth quarter, really, really fun. The Kings, especially there with under 2 minutes, Kings made a run. You had both Zach LaVine hitting big buckets towards the end of that game. DeMar DeRozan, a slow night from him in that first half. But just Kings come up short with DeRozan late in that game. I think it was 2.3 seconds left in the game. Just not enough time to get a quality shot off to potentially win the game, and the Kings fall to the Los Angeles Clippers in this game. But again, Sunday is a must-win for the Sacramento Kings in this game. But some of the highlights plays from the guys tonight, you had Domantas Sabonis. Like, it's a natural thing, picking up his 60th double of the season. And then and you had Sabonis battling Zubac for most of the night. 19 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists for Sabonis in this game. Zach LaVine, as I mentioned earlier, him and DeRozan, slow starts to this ball game. Zach was quiet for most of the first half, but like most of his teammates in this game, he started heating up late in that second half, especially in that third, heading in to that fourth quarter. And LaVine finished with 26 points. He also grabbed 4 boards in this game. He also dished out 5 assists for the Kings. He also gave the Kings a shot to win it late. So nice shot by LaVine in this game. DeMar DeRozan also quiet night, and I thought the Clippers, who since the early beginnings of March, they are the best offensive team in the league. They are second in defensive rating since the early March. They are number 1 in net rating. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I believe the Los Angeles Clippers, when healthy, are the second best team in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard's been playing incredibly well here as of late. James Harden, who's played well as for the Clippers too. Zubac, who's played well all season long. And again, my opinion, when healthy, the Clippers are the second best team in the Western Conference. But Devin Carter, I thought he was really solid defensively in this game. A tall task when he's out there trying to slow down a future Hall of Famer in James Harden for stretches in this game. But he picked up a couple of fouls. He's not going to get those whistles because he's a rookie. I wish he would get the whistle, but he's not quite yet. But overall, DC was physical and he made life difficult for James Harden. He also added 7 points. He also had 2 steals in this ball game for DC. Keegan Murray, who is back in the starting lineup after missing the last few games with back soreness, and Keegan returned to the game, and it wasn't perfect. I thought he struggled at times in this game, but Keegan posted 9 points, 8 rebounds, but he also had the late steal in that fourth quarter that gave the Kings an opportunity to win this game, potentially at the buzzer. So Keegan Murray, not a great night offensively, but he stepped up like he has on the defensive end. Trey Lyles, Trey Day on a Friday night. Trey Lyles is playing. He's playing more minutes, and you can see it. Taking advantage of the opportunity that he flew all over the basketball court in this game against a physical Clippers team that made the Kings work for everything, every shot in this game. You got Trey Lyles, who finished with 9 points. He was 4 of 5 shooting. He also chipped in 7 rebounds. And Trey Lyles, he earned his minutes in this bad boy tonight. But tough game for the Kings in this game, and that just makes Sunday afternoon a must-win, like I said, for the Sacramento Kings if you want to host that play-in game against the Dallas Mavericks, because you would rather host that game instead of going all the way to Dallas in that environment, and that's a Dallas team that's getting healthy. They're getting their big guys back, and Anthony Davis, who's back, Derek Lively's back, Daniel Gafford's back. They are a much different team when they have the key pieces together. The only guy they won't have is Kyrie Irving, who is out for the season with that ACL injury, and the future of Kyrie Irving's kind of up in the air for next season because he may miss the beginning half of next season because of that injury. So tough loss for the Kings tonight. The Dallas Mavericks just blew out the Toronto Raptors in their game at home. And then other scores around the NBA, because of that Western Conference is so jam-packed there. You had the Golden State Warriors, who beat up on Portland. The Lakers, they took it to town to the Houston Rockets. Phoenix, they snapped their losing streak, even though they're already eliminated from playoff contention. You got the Denver Nuggets. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies at home. And you got the New York Knicks, who lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Knicks, they secured that number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. And then you got the Orlando Magic. They beat the Indiana Pacers in the ball game. But if you look at the Western Conference, with that loss from the Memphis Grizzlies in Denver tonight, the Grizzlies, who came into tonight's game, I believe they were sixth in the Western Conference. They are now eighth. And right now, they would play the Minnesota Timberwolves, who won tonight. They would play the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota in that 7-8 play-in. And then you would have, right now, you would have the Kings hosting the Dallas Mavericks. And with one game left on Sunday, with everybody playing, everything is still up in the air because you got on Sunday. Here are the games on Sunday. You got you got the Los Angeles Clippers. They are facing the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting to see. So the games on Sunday. Here are the games on Sunday that will have some standings implications. You got the Clippers who are in San Francisco against Golden State. That's a big game in the standings. You got Minnesota hosting Utah. The Timberwolves should win that game. You got the Nuggets who are in Houston to take on the Rockets. The Nuggets, they need to win that game. And then you got the Grizzlies taking on the Mavericks. The Grizzlies need to win that game because right now they got 34 losses. And if you look at the standings, the Grizzlies with 34 losses. But the thing about the Grizzlies is I don't believe they have any of the tiebreakers with the teams ahead of them as we speak. So it looks like more and more likely that the Grizzlies are going to be a play-in team other than one of the top 6 teams. So it's going to be interesting to see. And as a basketball fan, every basketball fan should be loving the absolute chaos that is going to be ahead of us on Sunday for the final games of the regular season. And then we got the play-in games. I believe it's on Tuesday and then on Wednesday. So it's going to be fun. And the Kings, it's a must-win against the Phoenix Suns. Because if you win, you will be the 9th seed and you will host the Dallas Mavericks in that play-in game. And you want that play-in game here in Sacramento. So Kings got to win. And the Phoenix Suns, they've already been eliminated. And they're looking towards this summer. And I think there's going to be changes with that Phoenix Suns team this summer. And will Kevin Durant be on that team next season? We will see. But Sacramento, you win and you will host this play-in game against the Mavericks next week. So, but in this game, the Kings, they come up short against the Clippers by 101 to 100. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below in the YouTube comments. If you're listening on your preferred audio platform, Apple, Spotify, please hit that follow button, rate 5 stars, leave a nice little review, be much appreciated. And we'll see you Sunday for the final regular season game of this season. between these Kings and the Phoenix Suns. Take care, and we'll see you Sunday following Kings and Suns. Go Kings!